Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and a sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect out there, listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom to you all. All right, and I want to say this is fair use for educational purposes. I'm not making any money off of this. All right, the title of this video is You'll Be Shocked. Over 50,000 people have received micro C-hip. There's the word right there. Micro C-hip implants. Pay attention. Okay, so this is a very interesting video I found. Now, there's a lot of bones in here because it starts going into plantation Christianity. Okay, but the first few minutes of this are very informative. Okay, and, you know, it's sad that I gotta say it, but the plantation Christians got this prophecy right. Unlike some of you Hebrew Israelite camps talking about there's no C-hip, there's no chip, there's no, the MOTB is this, that, and the third, right? Everything except for what it actually is, right? The C-hip that goes in the right hand, and Neuralink, which goes in the brain, and Synchron, right? So you got the RFID C-hip. Let's see, right hand. Let me show y'all real quick. Bear with me. Yeah, so right here, okay, this is the micro C-hip, okay? This is what's going to be made mandatory for buying and selling, okay, right here. So that goes in the hand, either the right hand or the left. And of course, you got Neuralink and you got Synchron. Okay. With their different brain-computer interfaces, also known as BCI. Okay, this goes inside the brain. And then there's also another one called Synchron, which goes on top of the brain. All right. There's many more companies that are competing in this field as well. Okay. But just to show y'all, okay, I'm just going to let this video play for a little bit and let y'all soak in the information.
Or has it already started? Look at this. Is it finally happening, or has it already started? Look at this headline closely. Should states ban mandatory human microchip implants? A new report examines the rise of preemptive bans on mandated human microchip implants, noting that 13 states have recently enacted such a ban, despite no companies currently requiring the technology. The Carnegie Council for Ethics in International Affairs has released a report entitled The Rise of Preemptive Bans on Human Microchip Implants, looking primarily at how some states are preparing for an increased prevalence of this technology. Let's stop there for a second. Pay attention to these words. Looking primarily at how some states are preparing for an increased prevalence of this technology. Microchip technology is no longer a theory or some form of breakthrough tech. It's an expected reality. Some states in America are already planning ahead in terms of how to deal with this technology, which is soon to come. Notably, more states are enacting preemptive bans to prevent employers from requiring that their workers be microchipped. U.S. states are increasingly enacting legislation to preemptively ban employers from forcing workers to be microchipped, which entails having a subdermal chip surgically inserted between one's thumb and index finger, wrote the authors of the report. Internationally, more than 50,000 people have elected to receive microchip implants to serve as their swipe keys, credit cards, and means to instantaneously share social media information. This technology is especially popular in Sweden, where chip implants are more widely accepted to use for gym access, e-tickets on transit systems, and to store emergency contact information. End quote. Now, why are these microchip implants particularly interesting to keep an eye on? And according to Revelation,
So I'm going to stop it right there, okay? But that's very interesting, man. All right, where do I even start? Okay, let's go ahead and get the word preemptive, because they talked about preemptive bans on this micro C-hip technology. Okay, why is it that the micro C-hip, right, is not the mark, right? It's not going to happen according to some people, all right, some groups. But here you got states already banning it before it's even being pushed. Okay, now, of course, on a voluntary level, it's being marketed and pushed, and people, like it says in the video, 50,000 people already have it, especially over there in Europe, like places like Sweden and whatnot. People are using them to open their gym doors, open their house doors, put contact information in there, put all type of information in there. Okay, all right, but it says that states are preemptively banning. So these states know that eventually there's going to be a push for this MOTB, and they're already banned these employers from doing it, right? Because think about it. We know the scripture says you cannot buy or sell without the MOTB, right? When you work a job, you are selling your services. You see? So, yeah, you won't be able to work or buy food or water or pay rent or do anything really. Once this MOTB is mandated, if you don't have the MOTB, right, you don't have that C-hip in your hand or in your brain, you're not going to be able to participate in society. Okay, so these states have already opted for preemptive bans on this MOTB. All right, the word preemptive.
Preemptive.
It says serving or intended to preempt or forestall something, especially to prevent, right? To prevent attack by disabling the enemy. Right, so these states already know, like, hey, if we leave this thing open, all these different employers are going to start mandating it right away. And you know what? These states aren't going to be able to stop it. Okay, what they can do is how do you say, stall it. They can stall it for now, for lack of a better word, right? But they're just going to be delaying the inevitable, right? Because it's ultimately the Lord's will, okay? It's just not the Lord's will for it to happen right this second, which is why these bans have happened, to kind of stall it, okay? But this gives us, the hopeful elect, plenty of time to, and I won't say plenty of time, I will say enough time to warn the rest of the hopeful elect out there. Okay, this is 2 Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, right? So we're commanded to measure the time diligently, right? Based off the signs that the Lord has told us. And verse 2 says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, because eventually the Lord's fully just going to send his son Yahushua, but before that happens, he's visiting this world. All right, you got the chariots up there in the sky. All right, you got various plagues and pestilences and tribulations and evils that are happening that the Lord has sent. Okay, and if we pay attention to the signs, and we know that 50,000 people have already raised their hand up to get the MOTB voluntarily, how many more millions will follow after that? And we know how these devils roll, man. Okay, first is voluntary, is cool, is incentivized. Everybody's going to try to get it. Maybe like half of the world will get it, and the other half is going to be on the fence, or most of the other half will be on the fence. That's when it goes mandatory. Okay, you want to go to Walmart, you want to go use Amazon, you want to go to work in this particular field, that particular field. You want to go eat fast food, you want to pay rent, you got to have the MOTB. And then eventually, everything is going to be like that. You won't be able to buy or sell at all, zero, without the MOTB. And that's when the doors will close in, and, you either get the MOTB, or you're going to have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and rely on the Lord to feed you and to house you and clothe you, right? Now, we may not have a house. We may be homeless. We may eat out of trash cans for a time. We may starve for a time. But ultimately, the elect will eat, like the scriptures say. The elect will be taken care of, man. Okay, and right now, while we're still in our apartments, working our plantation slavery jobs, got a little bit of cash in the bank, you know, we still have, like the scriptures say, we yet have liberty. Okay, now is the time to be seeking Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Not waiting to the last minute when all hell breaks loose and this technology is in your face. That's too late, man. All right, now that it's off at a distance, you know, and don't get me wrong, man. This technology is already here, and I'm going to keep reiterating that. It's already here. It's already being used. People are getting it voluntarily. The MOTB already exists. We're not waiting for it to be created. We are waiting for it to be mandated. It's already here. It's already here. It's been here for over a decade. Okay? And Neuralink almost a decade. But still. Okay, both the hand charagma and the brain charagma are here. All right, let's get Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. All right, the scriptures say that this thing is going to happen. In Revelation 13 and 16, it says, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. Right? Roughly paraphrasing. So you got to have this mark to buy or sell. All right? When this gets mandated. That's what the Lord said is going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So these different states that are divided, he got 13 states, right? Which that's a number of significance right there. Okay. I believe the elite use that number. The wicked use that number. It means something to them. 13. Okay, just like they use the number 33. Okay, and the number 6 and all that. Okay. So, you know, you had 13 colonies in America, right? You got Friday the 13th. Okay, now you got 13 states banding together to ban the coming MOTB mandation. All right, but what's going to happen is ultimately these bans are going to be lifted. An emergency is going to happen. Something's going to happen to where it's going to be lifted, or there's going to be a workaround, and it's going to be mandated either way. Okay, because a kingdom that's divided cannot stand, man. The elite, the international banking families, they want this MOTB pushed. Okay, Esau wants this pushed, and of course, you got certain lower level Edomites that may not want it to be pushed, but ultimately, they're under the hierarchy of their overlords, these international banking families. Okay, and even though they're divided, all right, the Lord's will is going to be done, man. And you know what? That's part of the Lord's will. Let's get this, Mark 3 and 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Right? We know America is going to be destroyed through thermonuclear destruction. So this house, America, will not stand. And this division that you see in, okay, the states and the employers, and, you know, you got Democrat, Republican, all this stuff is a sign that this place is going to go down eventually. Okay, because these devils are divided against themselves. I mean, you even got America and Russia against each other. Edomites, both Edomite nations. Okay, so the house of Esau is going down, man. These are the signs that are showing us, right? The Lord is showing us that Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, is going down, man. All right, this is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Right? The way they stole this land from the Native American Indians, the Seminole Indians, the so-called Mexicans. Okay? The way they treat them to this day with these ICE raids and deportations. Right? They're coming back to live in their original land, and you tell them that they got to go back to their country, right? But then you bring in over here a bunch of white South Africans, so-called white, because they're not white, they're red. South Africans and telling them that, oh, you can come over here and escape racism, right? You see? Because this devil is a fucking lying piece of shit. And of course, they're going to stick together. You know? Birds of a flock, you know the saying, man. They going to stick together. Okay? But yeah, man, the Lord is going to destroy this nation, man, because it was founded on blood, grape, robbery, murder, the stealing of the Israelites and enslaving of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Here we are to this day. We are yet in our captivity, man. Going to these plantation jobs. We got pain in our fucking body, and we still got to go to work. We don't know how long we're going to be able to work. Some of us, our life hangs in the balance, man. We have no assurance of our life, man. We just out here grinding, hustling, living paycheck to paycheck, saving every dollar we can, just so we can be one paycheck away from being homeless. All right, and if you become homeless, you know that that's a death sentence pretty much, man. All right, unless the Lord is really with you, and we have faith that the Lord is with us, man. All right, but this condition is terrible, and Esau is going to pay for all of it. All right, now we're also paying because of the curses, because we, went off and worshiped other gods and, did wickedly, played the whore. And so the Lord is punishing us. Okay, but soon the punishment of our iniquity will be accomplished, and we're going to return back to our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, on the right-hand side. Okay, we're going to be placed as leaders and rulers over this earth, man. Right? But before that great promise and all these amazing things are fulfilled, first this place has to go up in flames, man. Like the scripture says, if that thing that be sown be turned not upside down. Let's get that real quick. This is 2 Ezra 4:29. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, right? Speaking of America, this wicked ass place doesn't get destroyed, then can it not come that is sown with good, right? That great kingdom with power and righteousness and the end of corruption, right? All types of corruption, including these corrupt bodies we live in. Okay, death. The end of all those things cannot come if America is not destroyed first. Babylon the Great, by way of thermonuclear fire from Russia and all these other nations joined together by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because ultimately it's the Lord's will for this place to go down in destruction, in this chaos of the Third World War. Okay, so just going back to Sirach 10:8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right, and these divisions is a sign of that. Okay, so let's go to Revelation 14:9, and we're going to see, okay, what's going to happen to those of you that take this MOTB, man? Because, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to be mandated worldwide for buying and selling. And it's going to be a great temptation. The scriptures call it the hour of temptation, man. Okay? And this is the consequence for you Israelites watching, you so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans. Listen closely to this scripture, man. This is Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, right? The beast is NATO and the EU, right? This Americanized Western power structure with all their various philosophies and ways of life, or as I like to call them, ways of death, right? If you worship this way of life, right? You love that Moism, worshiping women, putting them on pedestals, all right? This GMO foods, all right? You know, these ways of death and all these other ways that they live by, these corrupt laws. You worship that system, you trust in it, you're eventually going to end up getting his mark. And that's what it's going to say here next, what's going to happen to you if you get it. Okay, it says, If any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right? Because you got to be with this place to get that mark, right? If you fucking hate this place with a passion because you know the truth of the scriptures that the Lord has revealed unto you, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Warash, then you're going to fucking detest this mark and you're not going to take it, man. All right? But those of you that are with this place, you are, balls to the wall for America, for Babylon, for democracy, however you want to call it. You're going to end up getting this fucking mark. And what's going to happen to you? Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. Because when Yahweh Shai returns, you're going to see these so-called flying saucers, so-called UFOs covering the entire sky. And in the midst of that, America is going to be destroyed in the Third World War. And those of you that are here in America that took that mark, you're going to go up in flames with this place. And the Lord, Yahweh Shai, and the angels are going to watch you burn. Okay? Verse 11. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. Right? So, it's going to be a long time that this place is going to be up in smoke, man. Now, this isn't going into no hell doctrine where you burn forever and ever. If you read carefully, it says the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. All right, it doesn't say they're going to be tormented forever and ever. Okay, and even if it did, it's just metaphoric. Okay, just like Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by eternal fire, roughly paraphrasing. We know it's not on fire today, right? But that place never came back. The destruction was eternal. So too, America's destruction is going to be eternal because America is never going to rise again from the ashes. Okay, let's read it again. Revelation 14:11. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. You see, so don't get that mark, man. Don't get that mark. Don't get that MOTB. It's coming very soon. Okay, and when it comes, you people are going to be backed up into a corner. You people that were not taking this truth seriously, you're going to end up taking it. In your right hand, in your left hand, in your brain, in your stomach, on your left butt cheek, it doesn't matter. If you put this technology in your body, you are owned by Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And when he goes down, you're going down with him. All right? And who's going to come up out of the demise of this wicked-ass nation and these people, these Edomites? Who's going to come up? The Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Firstly, those of you who are of the elect. The 144,000 and the rest of the remnant around the world, okay, who stand stiffly for the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. We're going to come up, man. And that's where our rulership begins. The end of Esau is the beginning of our rulership. Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. All right, that's what it means forever, man. When it says it like that, forever, even forever and ever. All right, so that's not metaphoric. That's literal, man. We're going to rule forever, man. And call all Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai for that. All right, so I pray that lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect out there. All right, I pray that all you brothers and sisters watching be of the elect, that we all make it together in that fathership. Our Lord's will, I be of the elect, and we get to see the downfall of our enemy from an aerial view. We get to see the fireworks, for lack of a better word. Okay? Once these nukes go off, once Yahweh Shai laser beams this place up, you see, this place is going to be destroyed, man. This place and the mark and Esau and all his systems and monuments and wickedness All these evil works are going to be burned up, and that's the end of corruption, man. The day of doom. All right? And that's the beginning of the world to come, man. All right? But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. All right? So giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Warash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth, and a sincere shalom to all the hopeful elect out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom to you all. Shalom wa abad babal. Shalom.